You just don't know when to quit.
Yeah, I've been told that before.
Wow. Are you guys seeing this?
I need a weapon.
Hello there.
You with you?
I thought yours was new.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Slav's Free Talk Podcast. I know it's been a minute. I apologize. It's been about a week since we got a chance to talk. Last few days have been absolutely hectic for me. I apologize. I do apologize. But let's get into it, guys. We got a good bit of things. This is going to be almost like a Watchtower light. So for all of you who don't typically watch the Watchtower, we are going to talk quite a bit about DC stuff today. There's a lot of DC news. There was some things that came out with the TUDUM, the Netflix thing. And there's a couple things I want to talk about in regards to that. But for the most part, there's going to be quite a bit when it comes to DC related content. For some reason, comments are not popping up on the screen there. Let's see. So who do we got in here? Let's see if they're going to pop up when I click on them. Yes, we do. So we got Trayvon in here. He says, I asked if they're ready. He says, yes, sir. We got Xander in here. He says, I'm here and I got my adult beverages with me to enjoy this evening. Cheers. Yes. Movie Talk Now rips off shirt like it's another WWE event. Yeah, Slav is back. Thanks, Movie Talk Now. And I do want to just mention Movie Talk Now. His channel is awesome. Go check it out. He's been putting up videos. He and I sat down and had a discussion about a week or so ago, and he's been putting up clips of that on his channel. So go check out his channel. It's an awesome channel. All right. So hopefully you've all been doing well. Hopefully I don't know what's been going on with my signal here. It's like laggy. I don't know. Hopefully it's okay for you guys. At least the audio, I'm hoping. I don't know. It's been annoying. If it's not one thing, it's another when it comes to what you call it? Technology, right? It's always something. Always something. All right. So let's kind of get into it here. So the first topic I want to bring up is going to be Stranger Things Season 5. Stranger Things Season 5, guys. It's finally here. The final season is upon us. It is coming. It is almost here. Well, not really. They showed us a little teaser, which was basically just clips from the last 4 seasons with maybe in total 20 seconds from the coming season. And they announced that it will be split into 3 parts. Part 1, or as they called it, Volume 1, will release on November 26th, 2025. Volume 2 will release on Christmas Day, 2025. And the series finale will release on New Year's Eve, which is December 31st, 2025. Essentially January 1st. Because who's going to stop? Like, who's going to sit there and watch Stranger Things on New Year's Eve? That's just, it's bonkers to me. I honestly, the reason why I wanted to talk about this today, because I'm a big fan of Stranger Things. And I have to sit here and say, like, look, I honestly have enjoyed the first 4 seasons. It's been, 2 years? Almost. By the time this comes out, I think it'll be 2.5, maybe 3 years since the last season was released. It was way too long. Not only that, but why are they releasing it like this? Why are they releasing it on holidays? Now, Volume 1 will include the first 4 episodes. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4. Volume 2 will contain episodes 5, 6, 7. And then one final episode scheduled to drop on December 31st. They will each be released at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm on the East Coast, which means that will be, what is that, 8 p.m. my time. I don't know. I think that's it's who on Christmas Day, they're with their families, they're doing their thing, and they're gonna sit down at 5 p.m., 8 p.m. and watch Stranger Things on Christmas Day. I think what they should have done personally, I think it would have just been the smart move for this to be the start where Netflix says, you know what, we're going to start releasing things weekly. This will be the start of it. And we'll start it October 31st, Halloween Day, episode 1 of the season finale. And you just do one episode and go from there through the rest of the month of December or November. That would have been the smart move, in my opinion. But what do I know? Maybe they think this is the most profitable way, the most the best way for them to make a profit and get people to latch on and subscribe, I guess. I don't know. I guess they get, what would that, 2 months of subscribers in that case, because you figure if people aren't subscribed, they're going to subscribe on November 26th. That'll get them the first volume and the second volume. Then they'll have to subscribe again a second time for a second month to get the final episode. Whatever. I guess they're doing what they want to do there. We did get a synopsis. It says, the fall of 1987, Hawkins is scarred by the opening of the rifts, and our heroes are united by a single goal, find and kill Vecna. But he has vanished. His whereabouts and plans are unknown. Complicating their mission, the government has placed the town under military quarantine and intensified its hunt for 11, forcing her back into hiding. As the anniversary of Will's disappearance approaches, so does a heavy, familiar dread. The final battle was looming, and with it a darkness more powerful and more deadly than anything they faced before. To end this nightmare, they'll need everyone, the full party, standing together one last time. So there you have it. I don't know. I'd like to hear what you guys think about this release. If you think it's a smart move to release it on the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, is that a smart move? Do you think it's a smart move releasing them in the middle of the day, or in the evenings, I should say? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, all that jazz. What are you guys saying over here? Trayvon says that show is still going on. Yeah, apparently so. Apparently so. No, it is. Yeah, I mean, this is the final season. It is the final season. And Trayvon says, didn't this show trigger the return of New Coke? No. Movie Talk Now says, I think it's a terrible idea. Yeah, it really is. I mean, Thanksgiving, I could see maybe it working out a little bit. I know, like on Thanksgiving for me, by the time we're done eating and we clean up everything, I typically have to work the next day. So I might sit down and watch some TV as, I'm going to bed or something like that. Maybe I'd throw on Stranger Things. But, I mean, how late does football go on till? So a lot of people are going to be watching football that day, probably. Same with Christmas Day. Doesn't Amazon? No, Netflix. I thought Netflix had a Christmas Day football game now, or is that earlier in the day? I don't know. This is wild to me. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Movie Talk says, I say this as someone who will watch the show. He says it would be the last thing my family will do on those days. Yeah. Xander says Stranger Things felt like a show I would watch but never did. I tell you what, Xander, I think you will really enjoy it. It is a hell of a show. I truly enjoy it thoroughly. There's some issues in season 2. There's a couple episodes in season 2 that I don't like. But for the most part, the series as a whole is fantastic. I just think that they really this last season just has taken way too long to get out. It really has. All right. With TUDUM, we also got a trailer for Happy Gilmore 2. I'm not going to play it because of copyright and all that stuff. But look, as a 90s kid, Happy Gilmore is up there as one of my favorite comedies of all time. It is fantastic. But this trailer, I mean, I I don't know. First off, we got a wrestler in there, MJF or whatever, MFG, whatever. What I don't know. He's on the rival brand that I don't care about. I'm kind of curious about what that's all about. I don't think he should be in there. You got Adam Sandler's biological daughter in here, which he's been doing more often. He's been putting his kids in his movies a lot now. Watching this trailer, like it was really hard for me to get excited about this because it seems like they're trying to be funny, but it's not working. Like the reason why the first Happy Gilmore worked is because they took the material seriously and added jokes into it. I think like this trailer shows like everything's just a joke, if that makes any sense. I don't know. And that was kind of the beauty of all of Adam Sandler's movies back in the 90s was there was like a seriousness to the material, whether it was Big Daddy, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, whatever it was, there was like a seriousness undertone to the films, but there was always that little comedic bit to it that always just really lightened the film up. This just seems like they lost that somewhere along the way. And like they're retreading things, you know, I don't know. I'm hoping it's good. Look, I'm a big Happy Gilmore fan. So of course I'm going to watch it. Of course I'm going to watch it. Why wouldn't I watch it? Becky Lynch, another wrestler, is in this apparently. So I don't know. I will always give Adam Sandler a chance because you never know. There's always that chance for one of his movies to just be fantastic. I know there's a lot of people who won't give him his movies any chance at all, but there's a chance it might be the next Click or Uncut Gems or what was that basketball movie that came out a couple years ago that was just fantastic. Like every once in a while, you're going to find a damn good movie. They're not always Jack and Jill. Every once in a while, they're going to be a really good movie from Adam Sandler. And not saying that Happy Gilmore 2 is going to be the next Click or anything like that, but I think, you know, it has a chance to be at least funny, you know, and even if it's not as good as the first one, as long as it's not a Jack and Jill, I'm okay with that. I'm just so hesitant because of how highly regarded I hold the first one up. It's kind of like, man, I just hope they don't ruin what good the first one has. That's all. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do we got over here? We got Xander Wild saying, Happy effing Gilmore. Trayvon said, I'm surprised Netflix didn't wait to release the movie next year, coinciding with the OG Happy Gilmore's 30th anniversary. Yeah, that is interesting. The Glimmercast says, good evening, Slav and crew. Smash that like button. Yes, please, smash that like button. Trayvon says, I finally watched Happy Gilmore for the first time on Hulu for the first time last year. That's absurd. That's insane. That is insane. Movie Talk Now says, as long as Happy Gilmore is better than Titanic, I'll be happy. No pressure. I mean, honestly, they're two vastly different movies, so I don't think it's going to be difficult to be, but I know you're just messing around. I know. Oh, yeah, Glimmercast says, Hoobie's Halloween was hilarious. I actually will admit that is a regular Halloween movie I watch now every year since it came out. I really do enjoy Hubie's Halloween. And fun little connection here because it's got Julie Bowen in that, and she'll be in Happy Gilmore too because she was in the first Happy Gilmore as well. Julie Bowen of Modern Family fame and Boston Legal fame and stuff like that, if you know the actress. But yeah, that was not a bad movie. I enjoyed that. Yeah. Trayvon Purnell says, I say as long as it isn't Grown Ups 2, that movie infuriated me. Grown Ups 2 was a Jack and Jill level film. And like, that's what it is. Like, again, you get that's every once in a while, Adam Sandler does one of those movies, and it's just like, come on, man, you're better than that. You're better than that. Englewood Michael Myers says, but where's the Superman marketing? I don't know, man. I don't know. The Glimmercast says, I wonder why they're waiting on a Billy Madison sequel. You know it's coming. Yeah, I tell you this. If Happy Gilmore 2 does fantastic on Netflix, which you probably know it will, you probably know people are going to watch this like crazy on Netflix. But if people enjoy it and really like it, you know the next thing is going to be Billy Madison. You have to expect it. You know it's coming. Vineland, what they say. Did you see our old pal Aaron is now attacking the real outreach children's chair? Jeez, I didn't see that. But what's he saying? What is he trying to say about it? That it's not real or something? Like, is he trying to say it's fake? I don't know. Ridiculous is what it is. Movie Talk Now says Murder Mystery was good. The first Murder Mystery was really good. I actually don't even remember the second one. Like, I remember the first one, and I remember really enjoying it. I remember watching the second one, but I don't remember what it was about at all. So must not have been as good as the first one. Critic Chris says, "Hey Slav, everyone, what's going on, Critic Chris?" Yeah, but honestly, those are the only two things that I really cared about from the TUDUM event when it comes to everything was Happy Gilmore and Stranger Things. I know a lot of people were excited about One Piece. I never even watched the first season of One Piece. I'm not a One Piece fan. I've heard a lot of people say, you got to watch it, Slav, you got to watch it. But I'm like, it's not really for me. Besides that, there wasn't anything else that really like grabbed my attention right now. I'm sure things will come up that I didn't realize were Netflix now, but hey, I'll watch that. That'll be cool. But yeah, let me know if there's anything. Let me know in the comments if there was anything at the TUDUM event that you really that stuck out to you that you think I should check out there, because I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Movie Talk Now says he said there are better causes than a charity to buy tickets for needy kids. Movie Talk says, what is your official response? You're like a reporter there, Movie Talk. Well, first off, if he did actually say that, so when they're needy kids, yes, there's things that you can do for needy kids that are important, you know, whether it's get them school supplies, get them clothes, that kind of thing. But you know what kids also like to do? Kids like to go to the movies. Kids like to go do fun things. They do. And when they're needy, typically their parents, their family, their guardians aren't able to take them to do those fun things. So, yeah, raising money to take underprivileged kids to go to a movie, to take them to a big movie, a family-friendly movie, a movie that's going to bring them hope and joy and excitement. I think that's an okay thing. I think it is really unprofessional and really unbecoming of somebody who sits there and acts like they are a huge fan of DC and Superman, whether it's this Superman or another Superman or anything. It's very unbecoming to sit there and say that, you know, they shouldn't be raising money to take kids out to have fun, underprivileged kids to go have fun. Because yes, it's important to get them things and things that they need, but it's also important to take them out to have fun. You know, I've done mission trips in my life. And one of the things that I did when I was younger, we went to Toronto when I was younger and went on a mission trip. And my group that we went and worked at a church. And there are these kids. We didn't buy them clothes. We didn't buy them things. What we did was we had fun with them. We played games with them. We did things. We taught them about the Bible. We did things like that. That's what we did with them. We had fun. That probably meant more to them than getting a new coat, new shoes, or anything like that, because they had so much fun. And after that week was over, they cried because they didn't want us to leave because of how much fun they had. So it is just as important to do things for kids, to have fun, to show them hope and joy, to take them to a movie, to have them to give them an experience that they may never forget, as it is to get them things that they may need. So to sit there, for someone like Aaron to sit there and say that it's irresponsible or they shouldn't be doing that because there's a quote unquote better things, there isn't. Because sometimes the best thing for underprivileged kids is fun, laughter, joy, excitement. And this Superman movie is going to bring it to them. So that's my official response. You can pass that along to him if you want. I don't care. I really don't care. All right. What else we got here? Vinland says that the charity is in cahoots with WB just to artificially pump the box office. That's freaking ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's stupid. Whatever. I'm going to want to donate 4 times as much now. Critic Chris says, Aaron must not read enough DC comics past Batman. Justice League, if he never knew Karate Kid was a DC property. I've known since first film came out and detail information in DC books I have on character. What? Where did that come from? Movie Talk Now says, good response. Thank you for sharing your personal story. No problem. All right. Moving on. Now we're getting into the DC stuff, guys. Again, like I said, this is kind of like a Watchtower Light episode for the show tonight. So Ace Nostalgia says, hey, guys, what's going on, Ace? All right. AMC Theaters Discord corroborates Superman tickets going on sale June 12th. Thursday, June 12th it is, guys. It looks like we're just about a week away. I don't know, a little more than 10 days away. 10 days away from Superman tickets going on sale. So you guys need to get ready because they're going on sale soon. This is exciting. I mean, this is right around the time I expected the tickets to go on sale. Now, is this definitely locked in? Probably not definitely locked in. I would expect if this is going to be the case, I would think that within the next 3 days, 4 days, we'll probably start to hear something. Looking at my calendar here, the 12th is next Thursday, so I would say maybe even by Monday next week. I would say the latest next Monday we might see something from DC Studios. It could be Warner Brothers as well because they're the distributor. We could see something come across our screens saying tickets on sale Thursday. Could it be another trailer? Could it be TV spot? Whatever. I think we could, or it could simply be new trailer coming out Thursday, and Thursday we get a new trailer and it says tickets on sale now. Who knows? Something like that could be coming along. So get excited, guys. It seems like we're getting close to tickets on sale, and we can just purchase up our tickets on AMC or Regal or wherever you go. I go to AMC, but wherever you go, you can get your tickets and get ready. I'm excited. Yeah, I think it'll be a good time. Be a really good time. So let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below. With that, because the tickets are going to go on sale, we're starting to see some potential projections for opening weekend. That Park Place has put out an article. According to early domestic tracking, the film Superman is expected to open with 154 million to 175 million during its first weekend. If these projections hold, Superman would not only top Warner Brothers' expectations, but also claim the highest regular opening weekend of 2025 so far. To put that in perspective, the last time Superman hit theaters in a major way for a solo film was Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, and it opened to 116.6 million. Now, they do adjust inflation, blah, 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 that whole thing, which is stupid. But they say it lands approximately 160.5 in 2025 dollars, meaning Gunn's Superman is tracking either on par or slightly higher in audience interest. Other Superman films have opened significantly lower. Superman Returns opened at 52.5, Superman the movie at 7.4. If these projections hold on the high end, this would make Superman's debut the biggest in franchise history, unadjusted or not. Okay, so we talked about this kind of the last week about how this opening weekend can really be effective. We know Jurassic World comes out the week before. And I know a lot of people are sitting there saying that's going to pull away a lot of audience interest the following week when Superman opens up. But like I've said, you take a look at what happened Memorial Day weekend. You had Lilo and Stitch and you had Mission Impossible come out. Both did fantastic. Both did well over $100 million. Both made money its opening weekend. Now, here's the kicker. Here's the big kicker. And I should have pulled it up here, but we'll do it right now. We'll just do it right now. How about it? So we'll do, because I didn't do a box office Monday today. Mission Impossible so far, let's see, weekend. Where are we at? That's Lilo and Stitch. There we go. Mission Impossible made another 20. This is just domestically. Made another 27 million domestically. So it had a 57% drop. So that's just domestically. So we sit there and think about it. Now, let's logically think about that now, okay? Jurassic World, while it's bigger than Mission Impossible. I can see Jurassic World having a similar drop, probably 50% drop. Where are those people going to go that next week if they go to the movies? They're going to go see Superman. They're not going to go back and see Jurassic World. How many people went back to see Jurassic World? Probably not too many with the previous iterations. Unless this Jurassic World movie is bonkers good, like unbelievably good, which no Jurassic World movie has, Jurassic World or Jurassic Park movie has ever been like that since the first Jurassic Park. I don't see that happening. So week 2 for Jurassic World is going to drop off. I'm not week 1, sure, could make $100 to $150 million itself opening weekend. Sure. Week 2, I'm saying that, hey, maybe it drops off 50% and makes 75 million. Maybe it drops off 60%. Maybe it's not good. Maybe it doesn't have word of mouth. Who knows? But week 2, you're going to see 100 to 150 million easy for Superman. Like, I don't think that's outrageous for Superman to open up domestically. That's domestically, people. Like, that's not even, like, that's domestic numbers. Early domestic tracking, 154. You have to figure that internationally, you're looking at probably the same, 100 to 150, maybe 130. Right there, you're looking at $200, $300 million plus in its opening weekend. That's fantastic. Fantastic. So when we sit there and take a look at it, like, this is exciting times. This is exciting times. The marketing has ramped up. It is huge right now. Everywhere you turn, you see Superman. Almost every fast food restaurant you go to, there's something about Superman. Every corner you turn, there's Superman there. Like, Superman is everywhere. It's huge. People know Superman is coming out. More so than Jurassic World, more so than Fantastic Four. And it's fantastic. It's awesome. It's great. But I think that, honestly, the only thing, like I said, that could really hurt its opening week is if Jurassic World is just bonkers good. Bonkers good, which honestly, I don't really think it's going to be bonkers. Could it be good? Absolutely. I think it could be good. I think Gareth Edwards is a good director. I think, you have a good good, solid cast with Mahershala Ali and Scarlett Johansson. They're two great actors, not huge household names, but good actors. So I think that it could be a good movie, but it's not going to be bonkers good. Like I said, no Jurassic World movie has ever been bonkers good, but the last one's made billions of dollars. Yes, they have. And I'm not saying this one won't make $1 billion. I think it can make $1 billion or close to $1 billion. But just because that movie can make that much money doesn't mean that Superman won't make money. There's plenty of money to go around. And when people hear about a good movie, they go and see a good movie, and Superman's going to be a good movie. There's confidence from the studio. There's confidence from the audience about it. Like, there's excitement. There's hype around it. People are going to go see it. I think there's really nothing to be worried about. But let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. I know this is early tracking. We're going to get a better feel for it once tickets go on sale here next week. That's the rumor, that they go on sale next week. So once tickets go on sale, once we start seeing how the early tickets are going, we're going to get a better idea with that tracking and what it's tracking to look like for the opening weekend. So I'm excited to see what happens there. But let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. What do we got over here, guys? I lost where I was. I really need to start starring things. Right here. Movie Talk Now says projections look wild. Superman, movie of the summer. I think it's a possibility. I do. I think it is a possibility. Donovan says, but also with these projections, no tickets have been sold yet. Correct. That's why I think these are early projections. I think once we get the projections, or the projections after the tickets have been sold, we'll have a better idea. But this is right around what I've been expecting to see for opening weekend. So I think we'll be okay. Ace Nostalgia says, my girlfriend and I are going to be ready. All-Star Superman is hype for the Superman movie. And hype. Nice. All-Star Superman. Reading All-Star Superman. Okay, perfect. Gotcha, Ace. See it. Trayvon says, Adam Post recently made a video about these projections, and he believes DC would immediately overshadow Marvel if Superman succeeds beyond expectations. It's possible with how Marvel's struggling, and then they don't really have anything coming out after July until the end of the year next year. It's possible. It is possible. But again, both being successful, like if DC's strong right now, and then let's say Doomsday comes out and it's a huge hit and is strong, that's only good, because then they're going to push each other to be even better. Let's see. Donovan Martin says, hate to say it, but I believe Jurassic World will be going the route of Transformers. There's just so much they can only do, and it seems like they're just repeating tropes we have seen already. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. Critic Chris says, I can't get over the xenomorph-looking T-Rex. Yeah, that does look pretty bad. Xander says, Slav, please call out Tyrone Magnus for his false statements. He is getting too much and worse, and he needs to be called out. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen them. Donovan says, Slav, the marketing. Yeah, but the marketing, all right, that's for sure. Oh, man. Trayvon says, remember, Fantastic Four was at CCXP recently and was completely overshadowed by James Gunn, John Cena, and Peacemaker. Wait, Fantastic Four was at CCXP? Could have fooled me. I didn't hear about that. That's interesting. Glimmercast says, the cast does it for me. ScarJo being the hot shot mercenary looks good. Donovan says, just imagine if Reba just outright not only underperforms, but flops. Then we know it will be in Transformers territory. Yeah, you're right, Donovan. You're right. All right. Antonio Baker is here saying hi to everybody. There you go. He says, everyone else in the chat, good evening. Good evening. All right. Moving on. James Gunn says Superman is inspired by the best Godzilla movie. I've actually heard people complain about this. Here's the thing. Did you guys? I don't know if you've seen Godzilla minus one, but he's saying that it's inspired by Godzilla minus one, and he says at one point Superman needs to fight a giant monster that has been simply named as kaiju in promotional materials. This is in Japanese. This is a Japanese term used to refer to a giant monster, often seen in tokusatsu. I can't words, names that are foreign. I can't say. Sorry. Like Godzilla and Ultraman, Gunn was very deliberate in that shout out, stating that he was influenced by him and that he hoped to fuse that with the film. I tried to fuse elements like giant monsters, robots, flying dogs, and other superheroes. In fact, Gunn even directly called out Godzilla minus one as an influence. He said, "My goal is to make a film that depicts Godzilla like Godzilla minus one, but also has a great human drama. Superman and the flying dog Crypto also appear in this film, but at its core is a human story. The relationship between Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and Lex Luthor is at the core of the work. It's a tightrope that Gunn is looking to still deliver on the big screen, or deliver on big action, but the film wants to be sure that fans never lose sight of its characters at the center of it all and their very real emotions." I love this. I love this because the reason why I love this is because he's not just sitting here saying I'm taking inspiration just from comics. I'm just taking inspirations from what I've done. I'm taking inspirations from what other comic book movies have done. He's taking inspiration from what is possibly one of the best cinematic achievements in the last 10 years in Godzilla minus one. And he's sitting there saying, look, I've watched that movie and I'm taking inspiration behind it because it has such a great human story in it. There's such a great human story. There's a great story in it that I kind of wanted to be inspired by that with a monster, which in and of itself is almost like a superhero in a way, superhero movie in a way, just with a giant monster. And I like that. I like that. You know, people sit there all the time and criticize James Gunn for being this, self-centered type of writer in person, but he's not. Like he truly understands and is willing to take inspiration from other people's art and really give credit to that art as well. So I think it's great. I think this is a really cool idea. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see how this turns out because I think Godzilla minus one was a great film. I think it was exciting. And I think the fact that he's inspired by those kind of films, which is why he brought in the kaiju and things like that, just gets me excited to see how it plays out. You know, bringing in cool elements like that is just fun. I think that's cool. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right. James Gunn also talks about the Fantastic Four and Superman versus Superman feud. Now, our buddy Real Anarchy shared this over on X. He reposted the comment that James Gunn said. He says, they come out, being Fantastic Four, they come out 2 weeks after us. There's room for both of us, or for us both. I love my friends at Marvel. You can find whatever discussions you'd want to find online. I'd focus on all the positivity around the films instead of getting sucked up in online fan wars. Yes, absolutely. Focus on the positive, not the negative. Be excited for both. I just said it a couple minutes ago. If DC is doing well and is putting out bangers, then you want Marvel to do the same. Because if they're both putting out bangers, if they're both putting out great movie after great movie after great movie after great movie, all it's going to do is push the other studio to put out better films, to try and one-up each other, to do better, to push each other to do better. That's what we want to see. That's exactly what we want to see. I hope Fantastic Four is good. I have hope that it's going to be good. Look, Thunderbolts was great. It just didn't perform well at the box office. I'm hoping Fantastic Four does well. I'm hoping Fantastic Four is good. I believe Superman's going to be great, but I hope Fantastic Four does well. I have my suspicions on how Fantastic Four is going to do. I'm kind of worried about it, and I have legit reasons for it, but I hope it does well. I hope I hope that I really enjoy it. I do. But like he says, like why fight back and forth? Like that's the one thing I've never done when it comes to Fantastic Four and Superman. I've never sat there and said Superman's going to kick Fantastic Four's ass or Fantastic Four's going to kick Superman's ass at the box office. Like I don't care. I think Superman's going to do perfectly fine. And I've said that about all three of these films. I think all three of these films coming out in July are going to do well. I think they'll do well in their own right. I think that obviously there's going to be a winner. I think one of the films out of the three is going to do better than the other two. Absolutely. But I think all three of them will do well in their own right. And they're all going to make some sort of money and do well. But I've never sat there and said that, oh, I hope Superman destroys Fantastic Four or anything like that. I just think that's stupid. I think we want them all to do well, especially when it comes to the comic book movie genre. So I'm in agreement with James Gunn here. I think that's the best way to put it. I think you want them both to do well because that just pushes each studio to do better. But let me know your thoughts about his comments and let me know your thoughts about his comments in my comment section below. There we go. That was a weird way to say that. Chris here says, I think both might flop. Well, Chris, I think you're wrong. I don't think both will flop. I don't think either are going to flop, actually. Honestly, I think Fantastic Four is going to make more than $500 million. Superman's going to make more than $500 million. So neither one's going to flop. Yeah. What else? Antonio Baker says, I have to watch -1 because I'm a Godzilla fan, so I have to watch that movie. Yes, you do. It's been 2 years, man. What are you waiting for? Movie Talk Now says, Godzilla -1 is one of my favorite movies. Movie Talk Now says, so James Gunn gaining inspiration from it is a good thing. Yes, absolutely. Donovan says, Gunn is stating because it will be on par with the character drama in the story, and to me, that's a huge positive. Yeah, absolutely. Xander says, what I'm talking about, Slav, is that he will blatantly say that people who are excited for the Superman movie are coping from the past DC universe, that they are being paid or they are shills. Oh, are you talking about Tyrone there? Is that who you're talking about? Oh, all right. All right. Donovan says, Gunn has such goated taste in his inspirational pools. Jalen Harris says, I think that's great that James is offering a friendly competition. That's basically what he's doing, and why not? I think that's great. Movie Talk Now. Every metric experts to use to weigh excitement shows Superman is at least going to be a moderate success, but most likely a major success. Correct? We got Trayvon that says, I'd like for Fantastic Four to succeed, but honestly, I think 1, Fox will still have the better Fantastic Four movie at the end of the day, and 2, Superman will pimp smack Fantastic Four at the box office. Oh, man. Chris says, all 3 marketing has been terrible. They are just relying on the IP to sell. Well, when it comes to Superman, yeah, you can rely on the IP of Superman to sell because Superman has been around for nearly 100 years, well, 90 years or so, which is fine, but they've done more than just the IP to sell it. I mean, they've shown a lot of clips for that. Well, not a lot of clips, but they've shown a teaser, a trailer, a TV spot, a 5 or 3.5 minute long clip from the movie. They've shown many characters from the movie, posters, music they've given us. They've given us a lot from that movie. People seem to forget that when it comes to Superman. As for Fantastic Four has also been around for many decades. So yeah, they're gonna bank on that, but they're also banking on the MCU banner for Fantastic Four, which is not a bad thing to do. But they're also pushing this idea that it's a new Fantastic Four. Uh, but besides that, yeah, they haven't done much. They've given us what, two trailers, a teaser and a trailer, maybe one additional trailer I might be forgetting about. They haven't given us much. You're not wrong when it comes to Fantastic Four. Jurassic World, I mean, yeah, they haven't given us much. They've given us probably the most when it comes to trailers. I think Jurassic World has probably given us the most with teasers and trailers and TV spots. But again, yeah, all three of these can live off of IP because they've all been here and established for quite some time. Am I saying that's the best and the best route to go? Not always, but with these three, I don't think it's that bad of a way to handle it. But you are missing a lot of things that these that these movies have done. Like I said, I rattled off quite a bit for Superman. Again, Jurassic World has given us a lot of TV spots and trailers and posters, and they've done a lot of conventions. But besides that, like, they don't have the same kind of marketing that Superman has. Same with Fantastic Four. Like, they've done a lot of convention stuff. They've done some teasers, some trailers, but they've not done a lot of the outside marketing like Superman. But again, Fantastic Four has the MCU banner that they can play off of as well, which right there already gives them a huge advantage. So yeah, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I think you're also missing a lot. Oh boy, what else? Renisa, is that your name? Apology. They say, please call out Tyrone Magnus. He needs it as much as Aaron. I think I have never called out Tyrone. I haven't. I don't think I have. I've called out quite a few people, but I've never called him out. Chris says, I just laughed at Aaron over Milkbone. He hates Gun that much. At Milkbone? What? Soul Survivor Studios. What's been good, Slav? What's going on? Chris says, yeah, that was months ago. I'm not sure what was months ago, but okay. All right, moving on. Now, I did just do a video about this earlier today. If you haven't checked it out, you can get my full in-depth reaction to this reporting here. But I do want to just talk about this quickly here for all of you. It is being reported that the budget for Superman will be $225 million, or it is $225 million. Now, some people are trying to say that it must cross $700 million at the global box office to be considered a success. Makes no sense, guys. That makes no sense. I think a lot of people are saying that because there's this misconception that the people that don't like Man of Steel call it a failure at the box office. And it's not. It's not. Man of Steel was not a failure at the box office. And it made $680-some million at the box office. And it wasn't a failure, though. It wasn't. It was a financial success. It allowed Warner Brothers to greenlight a sequel and move forward with the universe. I have a feeling that is why this number is coming around, that this $700 million is coming around, because Man of Steel cost $225 million to make. So because it cost $225 million, the same as, or Superman cost $225, the same as Man of Steel, I think people are saying, well, it needs to make more than Man of Steel to be considered a success. That's what people are saying. And that's just vastly inaccurate. Now, I say this all the time, okay? In my eyes, I say this all the time. In my eyes, I believe a success for this movie is not just contingent on what it makes in the box office. It's the critic and fan reception and audience reception. Like, that is also a big part of it. What it makes in the box office is a big part of it. Let's not forget about all the merchandise, what it makes on digital when it comes out on digital, what it makes whenever it goes on home video, all that kind of stuff. Like that all plays into a part of how it is successful. Okay. Now, with that, 225 million, if this is accurate, I've seen some people say that it's closer to 185. Some people say it's 225. I hear some people saying it's like 185 after tax breaks, whatever, what have you. Let's just say 225 is the number. Okay. If 225 is the number, when all is said and done, how do you figure out how a movie is profitable? Typically, for years and years and years and years and years, all pundits, everybody would say you would take that number and you would essentially double it. You would double that number because you would spend the same amount on marketing. Then you would add maybe about half of it, like another 0.5%, give or take, for what the theaters would take. So you would take like 2.5%. So let's say $225 million times 2.5%. That would mean that it would need to make around $563 million to start making profit. Okay. But let's round up. Now I'm gonna be nice to the haters out there. And I'm gonna say let's round it up to 3. It needs to make $675 million to start making a profit, roughly. 675. I'm being nice, generous, okay? But let's not forget that marketing, part of marketing, does not all of it. I know that there's, I think it's Sean O'Rourke keeps saying in my chat, not this chat, but like in my comments on my videos, he's trying to tell me that all of marketing gets written off. I don't know if that's true. I know that some marketing gets written off. I don't believe all of it does. He says it does. I believe part of it does. But some marketing does get written off. So some marketing would get written off. So that number could fluctuate there. But let's not forget that it's not necessarily all about that number. It's not all about that number for it to be a success. It's just not. The success of this movie hinges on the reception, all around, critically and audience-wise, and how big of an impact it has on everything. Yes, I say this all the time. It can't make $200 million. It can't. Like, that's in no way is that a success. It can make $200 million and people love it, but it's not a success. But let's say it makes 550. Let's say it makes 575, yet people love it. That's a success. And people, and I truly believe that the studios will say, hey, this is a great start because this is an investment for the DCU. The DCEU did a lot of damage. AT&T did a lot of damage. We have to start, and this is a great start. I believe it's going to make a lot more than that, but it's a start. Excuse me. So, like I said, I made a video earlier. I kind of go more in depth to it, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below about all this because it is really interesting. I'm shocked that this number came out now. I think it's not 100% accurate. I think we'll probably get a different number here probably within the next year or so, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Sorry, I needed a drink there. My throat is killing me. Excuse me. Oh, man. All right. Sean O'Rourke, he is here. What's going on? He says, yes, most marketing expenses are 100% tax deductible for businesses in the U.S. as long as they are considered ordinary and necessary and directly related to generating business income. Okay. I mean, again, like I said, I've not, excuse me, I've not heard that before. And again, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not trying to combat you on that or anything like that. I hope you're right because I do hope you're right on that because that would benefit every studio. I've just always heard that part of their marketing studios marketing is right off or able to be written off, but that's kind of cool. All right. Anyway, and Jay Kelly says 500 million global opening weekend. That would be incredible. incredible. Chris says the Flash had online interest and no one showed up. This is going to be different than the Flash. Some people just can't get past the Flash. Where else are we here? D-Man7 says Superman could actually do poorly overseas, as Jurassic World will be dominating overseas markets since it will only have been released a week before Supes came out. It's possible. Again, if anything, like I said, if movies are good, people will go to the movies once or twice in a weekend. But because Jurassic World is coming out a week before, that will give them a little buffer so they don't have to go twice in one weekend. We just saw in Memorial Day weekend, people went and saw Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible. Both of them made huge money in one weekend. That was the biggest Memorial Day weekend in the history of Memorial Day weekend box office. We can see a similar thing happen in July, and it's spread out. There's no reason why it can't. Trayvon says, according to Real Anarchy, if Superman was made in 2013, its budget would have been around 165 million. Yes, you're not wrong. People love to play the inflation game. They do. They love to go back and forth with this inflation game. Had Superman been made in 2013, then you take that money that's 225 and you back the inflation down to 2013 money, it would have been 165 million roughly. And then you would do the same for Man of Steel. If Man of Steel was made today, you take that 225 in 2013 and bump that up, and it's like over 300 some million dollars. So people don't, when they like to play this inflation game, they don't play all the money. They only like, the box office does this, look at that. It's like, well, are you taking into consideration? Well, look at how much their budget was, and then look how much they probably would have had to then spend on their marketing, and look at it, and this and that and that and this and X amount of things. So, yeah. Anyways, okay. Anything else? Go back down to the bottom. Sean O'Rourke says Superman only needs to make 500 million to be profitable, but it will not save Warner Brothers Discovery this year. I don't think anything is going to save Warner Brothers Discovery this year, and I don't think anything was going to save Warner Brothers Discovery this year. I don't think Zaslav thought anything was going to save them this year. But you have to remember, you take a look, they've had 3 big wins in a row right now when it comes to Sinners, Final Destination, Minecraft, and they're about to have a 4th. I think F1's going to do pretty big for them. I think they're just the distributor with F1 now. And then they're going to have Superman, which will be 5. So I think they're going to have 5 solid wins across the board for them, pretty much back to back to back to back to back. So that you're going to start seeing things when you start seeing wins like that rack up for the studio, that is a good sign for the studio. Again, it doesn't mean that they're going to be saved right away, but they're taking steps in the right direction. I don't think Zaslav ever thought that it was going to be, hey, 1 movie is going to save us or 2 movies are going to save us. I don't even think the stockholders, the ones that matter, believe that was going to happen. The YouTubers who keep making it seem like that was going to happen, I'm not saying it was you, Sean, but the YouTubers who think that was going to happen are just foolish, because that's not how business works. It's not how the industry works. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, unless you put out a movie that's going to be a $2 billion hit, like the next Avatar, even Avatar wouldn't have saved this company at this point in time. That's how bad off AT&T put them in this position. Like, they need to really get on a run, and they've started their run, and they just got to keep moving. They got to keep moving that bar and just keep pushing and getting more and more hits on their hands. All right. Anything else? Watcher just said exactly what I said. Says they have $37 billion in debt. No movie will save them in any year, so it will be something they pay down over time. I wish people would stop talking about their debt. It's getting old, we know. Trayvon says once Warner Brothers Discovery spins off their cable networks, they'll be in better shape, especially if they siphon most of it, not all their debt to that spin-off company. Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. And Trayvon says, meanwhile, how's Paramount doing? Very true. Very, very, very true. All right, guys. I am going to get out of here tonight. This was a fun episode today. So thank you all for joining me. This week, I don't know if I'm going to do a Watchtower. My schedule has gotten crazy, so I'm going to try to do a Watchtower. I'm going to do my best. So keep a look on my community tab on YouTube. I hope you have been enjoying my community tab on YouTube, because I have been trying to put up polls every day on there to have some fun and keep you guys entertained over there. But yeah, keep an eye on that to make sure if I can get a show this week. I do apologize for not having one last week, but I'm going to try and get one this week for sure. Make sure you follow me on all the socials, Twitter, TikTok, all that jazz. Hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. But with all that said, guys, thank you again for watching. And with all that said, I'll catch you all later.